Let's simplify some radicals. So here I want you to simplify the square root of 18. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the radicand, which is 18, that's the radicand, and you're going to write it as a product of its prime factors. Okay, so let's factor 18. So we've got 2 and 9, and then 3 and 3. So the prime factorization of 18 is 2, 3, 3, 2 times 3 times 3. So then you rewrite it as the product of its prime factors. So 2 times 3 times 3. Now, because it's a square root, you're looking for pairs. So for every pair you have, you circle it, cross it out, and bring one outside until you're done. So let me rewrite that. So now we have 3 root 2, okay, because I had 2 3's, it was a pair. So I circled it, crossed it out, and brought one outside of the radical sign, okay, the radical symbol. And that's my answer. It's that easy. So let's try another one. Let's try, so if this was number 1, I'm going to switch colors here so that we make sure that if we get close, you can see the difference. So let's do number 2, and let's try the square root of 135. So again, write 135 as a product of its prime factors. So let's do a factor tree for 135. So that's going to be 5 and 27. And then that'll be 3 and 9, 3 and 3. So the prime factorization of 135, we can rewrite 135 as 5. So here we go, 5, 3, 3, 3. As 5 times 3 times 3 times 3. So remember I said because it's square root, we're looking for pairs. So I see 2 3's here, so I can circle it, cross it out, bring one outside, and then the 5 can't be paired with anything, and the 3 can't be paired with anything, so they have to hang out inside or underneath the radical symbol. And I am left with, and then this is all multiplication under here, so 5 times 3 is 15. So it's 3 root 15. Perfect. Now, let me move this up. Let's try a couple more. Okay, so let's go to, how about the square root? This will be number 3. How about the square root of 108? So remember, just write 108 as a product of its prime factors. So 108, I always do dividing by 2 if it's even because I just think it's easy. Just for me personally, that's what I do. And then 54 I know is 9 times 6. And then 9 goes to 3 and 3. And 6 goes to 2 and 3. So here we go. We've got a 2, a 3, 3, a 2, and a 3. So I'm going to write 108 as a product of its prime factors. So I always like to go with the smallest number first, so I have 2 2's, so I'm going to do 2 times 2. Now, if you have a lot, I always recommend crossing them out over here so you don't accidentally write them multiple times. Then I have 1, 2, 3 3's, so times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, I did those 3's, good job. All right, so now I'm looking for pairs. So I have 2 2's, so I circle them, cross them out, bring one outside. And I also have 2 3's, so I circle them, cross them out, and bring one outside. Now, this is multiplication out here, okay? This is multiplication. So don't do addition. I sometimes see students go 3 plus 2 and get 5. Nope, it's always multiplication because the whole thing has been multiplication. Because theoretically, you could have written this, if we broke this up, we could have written it as the square root of 4 times the square root of 9 times the square root of 3, okay? And so as you can see, this becomes 2, this becomes 3, and then root 3, so it's multiplication. Okay, so the whole thing's been multiplication, so just keep that in mind because that is an error that I see that my students sometimes make. So then it's just going to be 6 root 3. That's what the square root of 108 simplified is. All right, so let's do one final one. So how about the square root of 1080, so 1080. So again, write 1080 as a product of its prime factors. In a case like this, I always think it's easy to do 10 and then 108, just because anytime it ends in a 0, factoring the 10 first, I don't know, for me that's just faster. So 10 becomes 2 and 5, and then 108 is really easy because we just did it over here, so this should be fast. So we've got 2 and 54, and then we've got 9 and 6, and then we've got 3 and 3, and 2 and 3. Alrighty, so here we go. I'll come up here. Perfect. Okay, so again, circle them all because this way you won't miss any. So 108 comes down to 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to start with 2s. How many 2s do I have? 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 2s. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2 times 2 times 2. And then do I have any 3s? I do. I have 3 3s. 1, 2, 3. And do I have anything else? Yep, I have a 5. Okay, again, looking for pairs. So I see 2 2s here, so cross them out, bring one outside. I see 2 3s here, cross them out, bring one outside. And then I have a 5, so the 2, there's no other 2s, there's no other 3s, and there's no other 5s. So the 2, the 3, and the 5 are all going to be stuck underneath the radical symbol. So they're multiplied together. 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 5 is 30. So the answer is 6 root 30. All right, stay tuned for more videos where things get a little more difficult.